Good afternoon. Actually, good evening, chat. Yes, we are live. We are doing a parade today. This parade is for the anniversary of the 250th founding of the anniversary of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States Army. So everybody out there in the Army, happy birthday. Quarter of a millennia, the United States Army has been defending and shaping freedom around the world. Think about it. Quarter of a millennia. Yeah, they're not the Coldstream Guards who have been around since the 1600s, but the United States Army in 250 years has racked up a bunch of fucking dubs. So, yes, USA. Yes, and in honor of that, they're going to be doing a parade in Washington, D.C. It's also Flag Day. Happy Flag Day to everybody out there. And then also, it is the birthday of the Emperor of Mankind, the Emperor of our hearts, Donald John Trump. And hold on, chat, 1 second. I forgot to fix this back up, but it is time. It is time, shuttle. Yes. Yes, chat. It is also T-minus 365 days till 2.0 and get married. We're getting married next year on Flag Day. So it's a thing there, yes. No more kings. Well, Christ is a king, but remember, a lot of them are godless communists and atheists, so they don't like kings, period. So they don't want 8 kings, period, though. Angela says, oh, brother, hello. Sweet Tooth Fairy, I think you meant to say USA, but it's... Is that the cats for you? Like... All right, now Skippy, you're do it now. Well, we're not doing that. So, live stream the wedding. Well, we're making jokes about that. People are gonna TTS the wedding. It'll be like, Ag Biochemist for $10 says N. Should we note that the U.S. is one of the oldest continuing governments in the world? The U.S. Army is one of the oldest continuing armies in the world. Yes. Yes. Chugi Show for $5 says, say it with me, chat. Down with the law popes. Up with the law kangs. Yes, Minority Reporter. Yes. Boogie 1488 for $10 says N. I'll be getting married in the midst of World War III. I don't think there's going to be a lot. I mean, guys, yeah, the Israelis struck hard, killing part of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Council, which is their military leaders. They killed the leader of the Quds Force, which is their kind of like killing the leader of SOCOM, more or less, like their special operations and direct action wing of highly sensitive paramilitary operations they conduct. Yes, that guy got fucking snuffed out in an airstrike in Tehran. Apparently, the majority of the remaining Iranian F-4 Phantom fleet, which they were one of the last operators of F-4 Phantoms, has been destroyed. There's no word on the Tomcats that they operate because, yes, Iran got a couple F-14 Tomcats before the revolution, so we don't know how those are holding up. F's in the chats, though, for those warbirds not making it. How far do they set the nuclear program back? We don't know because we don't know how bad Natanz. I've showed you guys before the facility that's built into the hillsides in central Iran. We don't know how bad it got hit. So we don't know. I see recently they announced that Ali Khamenei is on their near future hopeful list. Yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of F's in the chats for the Phantoms and the Tomcats that didn't make it. It's a shame. It's a shame, chat. Those F-14s didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't do nothing wrong. They couldn't do anything wrong. I don't think there's any parts to operate them anymore, but all right, guys. So we are going to get started here. We are going to move over to the Right Side Broadcasting Network. They have the parade, and we're going to watch the parade. It should be pretty cool. There has been footage of it. They've got a bunch of different troops that are there, and they're going to be all wearing different uniforms throughout history, decent-sized formations. So it should be pretty based. Let's see.
They seek to serve this great nation, and they will be here in attendance.
Oh, there we go. JD Vance is showing up. Oh, here we go. Perfect timing, chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
That's a big crowd. Well, they have the Marine band. It's not the Marine band, that's the Army. Paid actors. Angela, they're going to be driving by your house. I am not going to lie. That World War II, uniform is a fucking drip. That looks pretty cool on the officers.
To honor America, would you please rise for the singing of our national anthem?
It's going to be the 3rd Infantry Regiment. Okay, this is bad. Why can't they have the band do it?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Broad stripes
It does.
and bright stars through the perilous fight. The ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Before we even had a country, we had an army.
They started as a small, unorganized group of shop owners and farmers, but they fought the most powerful army in the entire world to a standstill in Concord, Lexington, and Bunker Hill.
Then our Continental Congress chose George Washington as general.
I
of our
hope so.
Continental
She's
Army.
classically trained.
But
She's
it
not
wasn't
just
until
like a
1
random
year later,
Yahoo.
on July 4th,
The
1776,
Army band
that
is
news
highly
arrived
skilled.
of the signing of our Declaration of Independence.
Now we had a new army and a new nation.
With little gunpowder, no shoes, bloody feet, few cannons, little training, and even less food.
Valley Forge started in December. They went into winter camp in December of 1777. Approximately 2,000 Americans died that winter of disease.
They lived through hell, but they never, ever gave up. Not this army, not this first American army.
Finally, Washington and his army arrived here at Yorktown, where they had General Cornwallis and his powerful British army trapped in this city against the sea.
All of the preparation that Washington has learned through the course of those 6.5 years meets its full force here at Yorktown, and he employs it brilliantly.
Sailing from the Caribbean, the French Navy arrived and took on the British fleet.
Washington decided to make his move. Our men began digging to get closer and closer to the fort, finally getting within rifle and cannon range. Naturally, George Washington chose to set off our first cannon shot.
The British had two small forts in front of the main fort. They were called redoubts 9 and 10.
The Battle of
Then, on the
Yorktown.
moonless night of October 14th, the American and French forces attacked the redoubts. The hand-to-hand combat with bayonets, knives, and fists was bloody, to say the least. But within an hour, we were victorious.
And as the sun came up the next day, Cornwallis looked out and realized he was in serious trouble. So he prepared an all-out, desperate counterattack.
It didn't work, and the British were forced to surrender.
We were supposed to lose to the best army and the largest and most professional navy in the world.
But our young army had won the war and our freedom, the freedom we hold so dear. And 250 years later, for what started as a ragtag group of shop owners, has now become the most powerful army in the world.
Today, many things are very different from that army here at Yorktown, but one thing remains the same. An undying passion, guts, and love for our country remains deep in the heart of today's army. When I look into their faces, you can see it. That will never change. God bless the United States Army, and God bless the United States of America.
Okay, here we go, chat. But that's right. Any British out there, suck it dry. We just talked about your big fat L. Yep. I mean, Texas, USA. What's the goal? 50 teal shots for 250 years? That's our goal, chat. You figured it out, Nico. You will always know that the army is rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, our parade is officially underway.
Okay, like I think like
Up first, internationally renowned as one of the world's finest professional music organizations.
No
the
shit, it's
United
on the
States
way.
Army Band, Pershing Zone.
yes, and that's General John J. Pershing. Why is it not working?
They are the premier music organization of the U.S. Army, our nation's most senior service. Stationed at Joint Base Meyer-Henderson Hall, Virginia, it plays an important musical role in events of national and international significance. They were founded back in 1922 by Army Chief of Staff John J. Pershing. They're led today by Colonel Bruce R. Pulver and Drum Major Rob Moore. Today, Pershing Zone is playing a melody entitled The Army Goes Rolling Along. This was actually written in 1908 by the then Lieutenant Edmund Louis Snitz Gruber, which was a descendant of Franz Gruber, who composed Silent Night. It
Like
was originally
Gruber.
written to be the 5th Artillery Regimental song titled The Caissons Go Rolling Along. And in 1956, the lyrics were revised by Harold Arberg as the official song of the U.S. Army, and then retitled The Army Goes Rolling Along. Pershing Zone carries on its century-old
they
legacy,
practice all the
playing
time,
a march
so they're
that
a lot
brings
better at
pride
this.
to every soldier. The Army Song.
Oh no, they have bayonets. It's
The
over,
3rd
chat.
Infantry Regiment, the oldest active duty unit in the U.S.
The old
Army.
guard.
Established back in 1784, the unit was dubbed the Old Guard by Major General Winfield Scott during a victory parade in Mexico City after the Mexican War. It is the U.S. Army's official ceremonial unit and presidential escort,
Tomb of the Unknown
conducting
Soldier.
year-round tactical training to ensure the highest standards and utmost discipline of its soldiers. The unit routinely represents the U.S. Army and our nation in official ceremonies, major sporting events, and their own, the U.S. Army's own Twilight Tattoo. The Old Guard also maintains 24-hour vigil of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, while also conducting funeral services honoring our fallen heroes at Arlington National Cemetery. The regiment's 50 campaign streamer stand is a testament to its long, faithful service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard.
Yeah, the announcer's not doing so good today.
In 1775, the shot heard round the world at Lexington.
They got
and
some
Concord
horses.
Sparked a revolution.
The Army horses.
Uniting 13 colonies
I want to see the
and forging a
horses.
Continental Army from farmers and
The hell?
Against the odds, they turned the tide at Trenton and Saratoga, survived Valley Forge, and at Yorktown forced a British surrender, securing independence and giving birth to the United States of America.
The Fife and Drum Corps.
Before radios,
This is not as
field
prominent as
phones,
the Marine
sound
one, but
was
they
the
are a
signal.
thing.
In the Continental Army, fifes and drums carried commands across the chaos of battle,
Is that
telling
Bosch?
soldiers
No.
when to advance, when to retreat, eat, even when to rest. That legacy actually lives on today with the U.S. Army Fife and Drum Corps, part of the 3rd Infantry Regiment known as the Old Guard. Founded back in 1960, they're the only unit of their kind in the armed forces.
What the Marines had a
Performing
Fife
in
and Drum
uniforms patterned after those worn by General Washington's musicians. Playing period instruments with patriotic precision, they bring history to life, sharing the sound and spirit.
Well, those
of the
guys really
revolution
aren't
through more
marching
than
too well.
500 performances
dressing up
each
like
year,
Washington's
both at
kinda
home
cringe.
and around the world too. The Old Guard, Fife and Drum Corps, everybody.
It was not because they couldn't see the blood. We'll talk about this. That's not true why the British used red.
And now, from high above, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 250
The Golden
years,
Knights?
your United States Army parachute
Yeah, probably.
team,
There
the
you go.
Golden Knights. Descending at over 120 miles an hour, the Golden Knights are using flexible wing gliders to maintain their formation. They open their main canopy simultaneously and negotiate the softest possible landing.
Where are they?
I'll tell you, they can't hear you, but they sure can see you. You can give them a great big wave, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Knights, the finest parachuting team in the world.
Oh, there we go. Why aren't they having like somebody like stream it from a GoPro on their head or something? I thought they were gonna do like a super low like opening. They're so small. They're so little. They should be wingsuiting it. No, Franco, the Golden Knights are the U.S. Army parachute team. You're right, Edward. This is absolutely gay, 100% homosexual. It's gay! Yeah, they're famous for, like, they had a midair collision, like, 10 years ago or 20 years ago where they collided and, like, one of the guys lost his legs. Well, they're marching like Civil War soldiers.
Fort Sumter in 1861, a nation divided. Over 4 brutal years, nearly 2 million soldiers fought to preserve the Union. Among them, 5 future presidents and the first recipients of a brand new military decoration, the Medal of Honor. With independence won, our nation's westward expansion began. The Army moved in step, guarding settlers as
where the
native
hell did
scouts
they
lit
get
the way.
all these equipment?
Joined the cause,
Do they just have
and
it
the
sitting
Buffalo
on hand
soldiers
somewhere?
etched a legacy of grit and honor.
That's a
across
lot of
the
fucking
American
uniforms and,
frontier.
like, Springfield rifles they got sitting around. That's pretty crazy.
As they march by, a soldier's uniform signals their duty, their role, and their readiness. And by the late 1850s, official regulations outlined distinct looks, shaping the Army's identity and function across the force. Soldiers were issued 2 coats. One, a short sack coat for work.
Those
and
are all
battle,
reenactors?
with
I don't
brass
think
buttons
so.
and colored
They're
trim
very
that marked
skinny
their
for
rank.
reenactors.
Well, by war's end, that rugged sack coat became the soldier's uniform of choice.
Yeah, the Civil War
As
reenactors
the
are
war
making money.
escalated, volunteer enlistment surged. Congress authorized support for a force of up to 500,000 new troops answering the call to preserve the Union. As they march by, representing the Civil War era of our nation's history, is the 4th Infantry Division based out of Fort Carson,
Must look like
Colorado.
me. Well, the shoes weren't special. They were just, there was no left and right footed shoes back then. We'll talk about that. Oh, they got the Cav coming through as they killed all the Indians. So.
From Port Cavazos, Texas, home of legends,
Also
the
known
1st
as
Cavalry
Fort Hood.
Division rides with pride. Born from the thunder of horse cavalry traditions of the Civil War, the 1st team forged its reputation on the front lines of history. They stormed
Oh, that
Manila
one horse
with
is
a
not
flying
having
color,
fun right now.
charged into Pyongyang as the first to breach the line and face the brutal crucible of Ia Drang, the first of 13 named campaigns in Vietnam where they proved their mettle. Today, that same warrior spirit lives on. You'll know the name, and you'll know them by their iconic Cav hats, elite soldiers, and cutting-edge equipment. Tough, fit, fearless. The 1st Cavalry Division is a lethal, disciplined force that stands ready to fight and win anywhere, anytime, and the legacy rides on. This is the Cav.
They did not ride the horses in Vietnam, I promise.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Lockheed Martin.
Of course, the defense industry sponsored this. Yes, we want your money. Gib, gib, gib. Yes, Kurt, it's so scary. Very scary. And they have guns, lots of guns. Yes, clearly we have no history or culture. This is basically North Korea. We do have a culture. It's the army just destroying everything and conquering. Where's the rest of the parade?
In 1914, years of escalating competition.
What, we're skipping the Spanish-American War?
Culminate in the outbreak of the First World War. The two sides engage in a savage war of attrition, defined by opposing trenches, barbed wire, poison gas, and mass casualties. The United States initially maintained its neutrality, but was eventually drawn into the conflict in 1917. Despite having less than 130,000 soldiers at the beginning, the Army eventually grew to over 4 million, with nearly 2 million soldiers serving in Europe. In 6 months of fighting, nearly 50,000 Americans lost their lives, with another 190,000 wounded. The guns fell silent with the armistice of November 11th, 1919.
The Navy better have a good parade. Yes.
We continue on with more USA World War I rolling stock. This 1918 Dodge touring car was part of the legendary 1919 Transcontinental Convoy. 3,251 miles and 62 grueling days across the Lincoln Highway. Now remember, no pavement, no GPS, and no power steering. Just grit, determination,
and that was
and the
a
drive
mobility
to push
exercise.
Army mobility into the future.
It was an
this
exercise.
This car literally
to
helped pave the way for the
go.
roads we rely on today.
How fast they went.
And reminds us, when the Army moves, the nation follows. The 1918 Dodge touring car.
It is pretty cool to have that. Over there.
Headquartered in New York, this is the 42nd Infantry Division Band. At the start of World War I, the 42nd Infantry Division was formed with troops from 27 National Guard units, stretching across the country
Sergeant
like
Slaughter's
the rainbow,
not driving it.
composed of skilled musicians from all walks of life and professional occupations. They perform a variety of musical genres. Though their mission is primarily a musical one, the members were ordered into active federal service back in 2004 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom 3. The band has also served in support of numerous state active duty missions, including cleanup efforts following Hurricane Sandy, distribution support during COVID-19, and recently, support for New York State Corrections. Commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 2, Ethan Wagner, and led by Drum Major Sergeant First Class Drew Gans, the band is performing Over There, written in 1917 by Broadway.
The Rainbow is their
of the Congressional
Rainbow
Gold
Division.
Medal, George M. Cohan.
It was a combination of national.
Representing the World War I era is the 82nd.
It's called the Rainbow Division because it was a hodgepodge of National Guard units that got put together and sent to Europe. That's why they're called the Rainbow Division.
Airborne Division, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. You'll notice the unit is wearing replica World War I uniforms signifying the soldiers who served our nation during this time. When the Americans entered the Great War, our soldiers under the command of General Blackjack Pershing hit the trenches in the new standard. It was the olive drab winter service uniform. Now on their heads, you'll see a steel helmet with sand-textured paint built to deflect deadly shrapnel from above. Not bulletproof, but battle tough. Nicknamed the Pershing boot, on their feet was the M918, 1918 French boot. It was designed to survive the brutal grind of trench warfare. And on their backs, the field pack, rations, ammo, first aid, and a gas mask. Everything a doughboy needed to fight and to win. Incidentally, the 42nd Infantry Division was deployed to heavy combat abroad and then deployed again in World War II, ultimately liberating the Dachau concentration camp. The 42nd responded to the terrorist attacks on 9/11. Later, with the war on terrorism, the rainbow stretched across the world again, deploying in Iraq and Afghanistan. Thundering into view, the pride of Fort Sill, the U.S. Army Artillery Half Section. This is literally powered by horsepower and heritage. This elite ceremonial unit honors the legacy of the Army's horse-drawn artillery. With precision, discipline, and 6 majestic horses pulling a vintage 1918 caisson, the half section keeps tradition alive and rolling strong. representing the power, pride, and precision of America's field artillery. This is Fort Sill's finest, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to our sponsor, Form Energy. World War II, a global fight for freedom. In history's darkest hour, the United States Army was on the front lines. From the beaches of Normandy to the islands of the Pacific, the greatest generation faced down tyranny and turned the tide. From bombers to fighters to transports, U.S. Army aircraft started to thunder across the skies in World War II. And take a look up there, ladies and gentlemen, flying overhead right now. They are fast, they are fierce, and famously used in the Doolittle raid over Tokyo. Leading up front, the mighty B-25 Mitchell.
Really? Let's see it. They didn't
up next,
show it.
The Cadillac of the Sky, the P-51 Mustang.
We didn't even get to see it.
From the sky, we're back down on the ground. In World War II, one vehicle led the charge, the legendary quarter-ton 4x4 command recon vehicle, the Jeep. You might have a Jeep in your driveway, but not like this.
You couldn't even
the
see
U.S.
it.
Army truck quarter-ton 4x4 command reconnaissance, better known as the Jeep, was an iconic vehicle of World War II and was the world's first mass-produced four-wheel drive vehicle. The Army used the Jeep for almost every military activity, including command vehicles, scout cars, and medical ambulances. Fast, rugged, the Jeep became a symbol of American ingenuity.
Okay, the Band of Brothers song is kind of cringe. This is cringe. Cringe.
From Fort Bragg, North Carolina, this is the 82nd Airborne Ceremonial Band.
What's not?
The 82nd received the nickname All-Americans after a contest as it represented the diverse origins of its members from every state.
These bands a different feed.
This name remains today symbolized by their iconic AA patch. Fort Bragg's finest, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big round of applause, the 82nd Airborne Ceremonial Band.
What do you mean it's a different feed? I assume it's got the same music, you guys.
In a global fight like World War II, the U.S. Army knew our troops needed more than courage. They needed innovation. Uniforms evolved for every environment, but olive drab remained the mark of the American soldier. Shaped by lessons from the trenches of World War I, the Army introduced two battlefield essentials. The M1 helmet, tough, stable, and built to protect under fire, and the M1 Garand rifle, powerful and fast, it gave American troops a very clear edge. General George S. Patton called the M1 rifle the greatest battle implement ever designed, and history proved it right. The 82nd Airborne Division. The unit is best known for their bravery on D-Day when 12,000 parachute and glider troops destroyed German supply lines.
I don't think the Army's going to do that.
For 33 days
Yes,
straight.
the Band of Brothers thing is cringe. Like, no, not using the music from a TV show. No. Cringe.
The 101st Airborne Division, based out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, traces its lineage back to 1918 when it first established as the 101st Division. Known for their ability to rapidly deploy across the world, the unit has held a crucial role in operations since its inception. From parachuting behind enemy lines on D-Day to leading helicopter assaults in Vietnam, the 101st redefined modern warfare.
They couldn't rent a Sherman for a week or two?
The Screaming Eagles stood tall at home, protecting the Little Rock Nine during the fight for civil rights. In recent decades, they've been sent across the world with stints as far as the Middle East, where they took part in Operation Desert Storm and participated extensively in the war on terrorism in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Screaming Eagles continue to lead the way as tomorrow's division in today's Army. The iconic Sherman tank is here, ladies and gentlemen. It was the cornerstone of the U.S. Armed Forces, showing its military might in World War II. It became one of the most influential tank designs of the 20th century. The M4 tank was nicknamed the Sherman tank after Civil War General William Tecumseh
Where's
Sherman.
the M10
Actually, it was named by the
Wolverine?
British. With almost 50,000 produced during World War II, the
There are a
Sherman
lot of
tank was
reenactors
in
that
active
have
service
Shermans.
until 1957.
Like the half track.
In World War II, the M16 half-track was a force to be reckoned with. It was a self-propelled anti-aircraft weapon with speed, firepower, and grit. Nicknamed the meat chopper, its quad 50 caliber mount could unleash 2,300 rounds a minute. Quite devastating. It served through Korea, Vietnam, and beyond, and remains in use in U.S. allies to this day. The M16 half-track brings the fight wherever it rolls. The U.S. Army Transportation Corps motto states, "Nothing happens until something moves." That was never more true than with this. Look at this, the 2.5-ton Chevrolet Deuce and a Half. Moved up to 10,000 pounds of cargo and was the backbone of the Red Ball Express that kept the Allies supplied after D-Day in World War II.
The Soviet Union is thankful for these types of trucks, helping it win the victory on the Eastern Front. Uh-oh. Did the Jeep really die and they're using the tow truck? That's fucking hilarious if they did. That is fucking hilarious if they did that.
The Korean War, often referred to as the Forgotten War, began on June 25, 1950. With the North Korean Army's invasion of South Korea. A coalition of South Korea, the United States, and other United Nations members defeated the invasion and advanced into North Korea. The coalition fought and defeated 2 Chinese offensives in the spring of 1951. Armistice negotiations began shortly after that defeat in July of 1951 until the armistice was signed 2 years later in 1953. Combat consisted of small attacks, raids, and patrolling. During this war, the United States deployed approximately 6.8 million military forces to the Korean Peninsula. Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase.
Coinbase? What? We got cryptocurrency now? Cryptocurrency sponsoring the U.S. Army. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is so gay. I get Lockheed Martin and Raytheon sponsoring this, but holy shit. Yeah, so
the M151 kept rolling along as the lightweight, high-mobility general-purpose vehicle replacing the famed World War II Jeep back in 1961. Officially named the Military Utility Tactical Truck, or MUT, most servicemen generally referred to it as a Jeep. The vehicle spanned more than 40 years in 4 manufacturers and were everywhere that the Army was deployed.
Yes, that's how they fund the Black Ops. So yeah, they showed all the Vietnam era guys marching with their uniforms. Let's see. They aren't using DoD funding, dummy.
Another
I'd rather
rose
they
by
would.
earlier,
That
and
would
at
be
2.5
better.
tons, this deuce and a half, the M35A2 classic military transport truck was
Like
a mainstay
deuce and
of
a
the U.S.
half.
Army for decades, particularly during the Vietnam War and Operation Iraqi Freedom. The deuce and a half proved its value moving cargo, supplies, and soldiers. Its capabilities include up to 5,000 pounds off-road and 10,000 pounds on-road, making it ideal for moving just about anything. In the jungles of Vietnam, the U.S. Army faced a new kind of war. Helicopters became the new workhorses of battle, delivering troops, firepower, and supplies into some of the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. This is the U.S. Army in Vietnam, the era of air mobility, fierce firefights, and unwavering brotherhood. And over the music marching through, the roar of these legendary Army helicopters takes to the air. Flying overhead right now, they help define the Vietnam War.
Shut up! I want to hear the Hueys.
staccato
Quit
beat of
talking.
The rotor blades was a welcome sound to many
Where the fuck did we
troops
get a bunch of
mired
Hueys
in
like
combat.
this out of storage?
From transport and medevac to close air support and reconnaissance, they brought the fight to the front and
They need to
pulled
be
the wounded
down
to
low.
safety.
Down low. Come on, like
The
treetop height.
086 Cayuse scouted the terrain with unmatched agility. The AH-1 Cobra,
Yes, play
also
Fortunate
nicknamed the
Son.
Snake, brought serious firepower. Its slim design,
They
as
even
you
have
can see here,
Cobras.
helped it survive and thrive in hostile environments to protect soldiers below. And the icon of the era, the UH-1 Huey, the first turbine-powered helicopter in service with the U.S. military. There was nothing the Huey couldn't do. General support, air assault, cargo transport, medic evacuation, and ground attack missions.
Yeah,
The
Hueys are
Cayuse,
free. You can
Cobra,
have
and
10 of them.
Huey, ladies and gentlemen, three iconic Army symbols
Yes,
in the
Chad,
sky.
that was the Little Bird's granddaddy. Before there was the Little Bird, there was the 06.
The 1st Cavalry Division Band, based out of Fort Cavazos, Texas, has played a vital role in U.S. military history. Since its origins back in 1855 as the band of the 2nd Cavalry, it has supported operations from the Civil War to Desert Storm. Over time, it's evolved into a powerful force, using music to strengthen bonds between soldiers and engage with communities. From World War II and
We probably
Korea
used
to
them
the
all
Vietnam War and Bosnia, the 1st Team Band has enhanced morale and upheld the division's enduring legacy. Today, the band continues its mission using music to shape perceptions, foster trust, and promote national Army and division interests. Standing ready to serve, it remains an enduring symbol of the 1st Cavalry Division's legacy and commitment to duty. The band performs Hit the Leather and Ride, a march composed by Captain Robert Meredith Wilson. This piece reflects the cavalry's transition from horses to mechanized warfare, capturing the speed, the resilience, and the tradition of the division. From Fort Cavazos, Texas, everybody, the 1st Cavalry Division Band. The U.S. Army deployed large numbers of troops in support of the Vietnam War. The first contingent of U.S. Army advisors arrived in Vietnam in the late 1950s, and that quickly grew to a small team of around 100 soldiers, which then expanded to more than 600 over
Black
the
Hawk
next
was first
decade.
used in the mid
As the war
early 80s.
intensified, troops numbers quickly grew as
No.
the war between the South Vietnamese government and the communist insurgents supported by North Vietnam intensified. By January 1969, more than 364,200 soldiers organized around 7 divisions and 20 separate combat brigades. The United States began withdrawing its forces in July of 1969, and the last Army combat unit
Like
left
they were
South
using in
Vietnam
Grenada.
August of 71. The last U.S. combat
was like the
soldier
beginning
came
of it.
home March 1973. while
Well,
a
yeah,
small
because it rained
number of
all fucking
non-combat
day. Of
personnel
course no one's going to
remained
be there.
until April 1975.
They don't get to
Vietnam
refuse
War
to
era Is the
participate.
101st Airborne Division based out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The unit is wearing replica Vietnam War uniforms, signifying the soldiers who served our nation during this time. Blistering heat, thick humidity, and unforgiving terrain demanded uniform innovation. And the Army, they delivered. New lightweight uniforms were constructed to move with the soldier. The M16 replaced the M1 Garand, calling for redesigned ammo gear and faster reloads in combat. Body armor got smarter, jackets and trousers got lighter, and field equipment was reimagined to meet the
that's the
mission
guys
head
with the
on. Gone were the heavy Mickey Mouse
Gulf War
boots,
stuff.
replaced by canvas tropical combat boots that offered better grip, faster drying, and all-day endurance. Special thanks to our sponsor, Oracle. When Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Kuwait in August 1990, the U.S. Army deployed to Saudi Arabia to deter further Iraqi aggression in the region for what was known as Operation Desert Shield.
Hi, Joe Lloyd. Hey,
more than
thank you for
750,000
PayPal last
troops
night, Joe.
comprising U.S. service
Joe Lloyd
members
for-
and coalition partners from more than 30 countries had
Want to say it because it came in last. It showed up this morning for $10 from Joe Loy for Clyde Coin and Clyde being a good boy. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
assembled in the Saudi Arabian desert. In mid-January 1991, the U.S.-led coalition began Operation Desert Storm, which kicked
that's
off
the
with
other
an
thing,
intensive
too.
air campaign designed to knock out key Iraqi infrastructure and weaken Iraqi forces. The ground offensive was launched in early 1991, where military forces overwhelmingly destroyed enemy tanks and vehicles. After only 100 hours of ground combat, coalition troops liberated Kuwait, and the Gulf War ended with Iraq's surrender.
Military people in the formations, there's been like a guy kind of marching off to the side in the back, and he's got a backpack. I know he's some sort of NCO, but why does he have a full like backpack? Is that a medic or something? You guys might be able to tell me. I don't know who that is.
From Fort Riley, Kansas, this is the 1st Infantry Division, one of the Army's most storied divisions. Nicknamed the Big Red One because of the distinctive red on their unit patch. As the oldest continuously serving division in the U.S. Army, the unit
full of
has
monster
participated in
sins.
every major operation since World War I, living up to its motto, no mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first.
It's probably
The
a medic.
1st Infantry Division was originally established as the 1st Expeditionary Division in 1917 and spearheaded the American Expeditionary
It is a
Forces
medic,
in
okay.
France during World War I. In World War II, the Fighting First stormed Omaha Beach on D-Day and liberated Nazi concentration camps. The highly decorated unit has had 37 members of the Big Red One awarded the Medal of Honor. In Washington, D.C., the 1st Division Monument stands in President's Park, memorializing those who died while serving in the 1st Infantry Division. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the Big Red One, the 1st Infantry Division. More military rolling stock. During Operation Desert Storm, the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle proved its value on the battlefield. It is fast, it is tough, and it is lethal. Named for General Omar Bradley, a leader from West Point's famed class of 1916, the Bradley was built to carry troops into combat with protection and power. Armed with a 25-millimeter chain-driven cannon and twin-tube launched
guys,
optically
this is an
tapped
M1A1, not an
missiles,
M1A2.
it played a critical role in clearing the way during the ground assault into Iraq. While the Paladin looks and sounds like a tank, it is technically a self-propelled howitzer and was first introduced back in the 1960s. Over the years, it's been upgraded to perform in versatile battlefields from Vietnam to the Soviet Union to Iraq.
Yes, it's a shitty movie. The Pentagon Wars is an awful movie. We'll get to that in a minute. There's the Bradley, right there. Although that's not an M1 or it's not an M2 A1, Bradley. That's an upgraded kit, Bradley. Got too much shit on it. See, I will. Oh, Dana White's there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When you watch like the Bastille Day parade and like trooping the colors, the troops just march. They aren't waving and shit. They're like going along, which I mean, I kind of think is a little more impressive. It's not part of the no. They're not part of the army. Duh. That street is not getting fucked up. It'll survive. Marco Rubio. Little Marco. Yes, the Bastille Day Parade is amazing if you've never seen it.
In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Armored. The 1st Armored Division, nicknamed Old Ironsides, is the oldest, most recognizable armored division in the United States Army. As part of the buildup for World War II, cavalry and reconnaissance units were brought together to form the 1st Armored Division in 1940. In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Armored. Old Ironsides really led the way. During Desert Storm, they engaged in some of the largest tank battles in Army history that were decisive victories, shattering enemy formations. Based in Fort Bliss, Texas, America's Tank Division is currently supporting missions in 20 countries across 5 continents. From World War II to today, Old Ironsides remains battle-proven and always ready.
Yes, they already went through. I've watched a couple of them, but not all of them. Oh, thank you, P-Dub. Then it makes a lot. Thank you. KJ says, well, they don't practice all the time. I get that. I get they don't practice everywhere they go. Where are the ICBMs? We don't have road mobile nukes. We don't have road mobile nukes. We're not fucking Russia. Our nukes are on airplanes, submarines, or in the ground. For the last month, I've been reimagining how to march. Yeah, I know, but you think they look a little better. No UCP yet. I think we're going to forget about that part of history. The Army's a little embarrassed. Yes, did they force all the black kids to go to school with the white kids yet? No. No HIMARS? The Marines have HIMARS. So, yes, the ceremonial units in the U.S. are more accustomed to this. No, we do not have road mobile nukes. We have no need for them. Instead of road mobile nukes, we invested in submarines. That's the trade-off.
First used in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the M119 howitzer brought precision firepower to the front lines.
What the
Lighter
fuck
and more
is
mobile
like
than
the
larger
ordering of these
artillery,
camera
it
shots is
built
not
for
good
the Infantry
anymore.
Brigade, able to fire high into the air or directly at the target depending on the mission. Whether used in battery formation or as a standalone support weapon, the M119 delivered reliable, responsible fire when it mattered most. Still in service today, including on the front lines in Ukraine, it remains a trusted part of the Army's arsenal. Special thanks to our sponsor, UFC.
UFC. Well, that's because that's all they do. They don't really train. They sit there and march. And they beat you if you fuck up. So CV90 or Bradley? Bradley's got tow missiles and Bradley has unmatched survivability.
On September
Ukraine
11,
has shown us that.
2001, terrorists destroyed the World Trade Center in New York City and struck the Pentagon in Washington.
Citation needed about 9/11, chat. I think we need a fact check on that one. Did terrorists really do that one? I'm not sure. I don't know if that's fair to say at this point. Citation needed.
D.C. using commercial airliners. In response, the U.S. launched the global war on terrorism. The U.S. would stop potential threats around
Because
the
a
world
lot
and
of
take the
people
fight to
haven't
terrorist
deployed in the
groups
past 10
and the
years.
nations that back
We've
them.
wrapped up a lot of military
The Army immediately
operations.
deployed forces to Afghanistan to destroy Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda terrorist organization and depose his sponsors, the ruling Taliban. The 2003 President Bush expanded the war to Iraq. Soldiers and other armed services overthrew Iraq's dictator Saddam Hussein. The fight to stabilize Iraq and prevent terrorist groups from overthrowing its new government continues to this day. The campaign in Afghanistan lasted until 2021 when U.S. forces withdrew and the Taliban returned to power. Over the course of the two-decade conflict, over 2 million servicemen and women, less than 1% of the American population, deployed in support of the global war on terrorism. Most of those who served were members of the United States Army.
Why are we doing Barracuda now? Oh, come on. We got to turn this down now. Chat, we got to turn that down. We got to turn it down. So where's like the modern shit rolling through? I'm still upset we can get to see the airplanes. It's kind of weak sauce. So when we get the Blackhawks, hopefully soon. So why isn't it being played by the UH-1? I don't know. Did they cancel the planes due to weather? I don't know. My favorite movie is Black Hawk Down, your throat. Where the hell diver battalions? Yes. Oh. Ugh. Okay, let's see here, chat. I mean, that's not a decent, not bad sized crowd for all the rain. Okay, well, this sounds like a video game load screen. You're just waiting to choose your fighter. It's just going and going. Oh, we got another old M1 tank. M1A1. There we go. You know it's not the real one. Still, they have like crows mounts and all the shit on them. This captain's like, it's like going back in time. He's like, this is ancient fucking equipment. I know who Hart is. Yes. Barracuda. I understand, but it's being used like it's a loading screen on a game. Jesus Christ. You guys are like tampon stretching there. How many tank recovery vehicles did they send in? I don't know. Probably a few. At least our shit works compared to them. Oh. You're still coping about the Vietnam era Chinooks? The Vietnam era Chinooks probably got converted all or clapped out and were used up. You know, CH-46s probably don't exist anymore in any amount. Let's see if we're done yet. Okay, not yet. Okay. Trump wants us, will they be tossing candy? I don't think so. Timmy says it sounds like Disney music. Yes. Washma Pousse says that lady was hitting the right notes. Well, yes, the Army band, like, they are soldiers, but their specific job, they're detailed to the Army band. That's what they do. So she's a professional singer, and, like, you know, that's how it works. They don't just, like, grab random people and say it's your turn. So, I don't think yet. Let me know when it goes. Let the sound turns off, chat. Suki says it's red so you can't see the blood. No, the British use red dye because that's all they could afford. It was the cheapest dye available. So they started using it. And then that's how their uniforms started going that color. And this is post-English Civil War, post-interregnum. After Charles II came into power, they used the color because they had tons of that color sitting around. They didn't use it for that. They just ran it like that was the cheapest dye they could get a hold of. So that's why they did it. Yep, hold on here. Oh, let's see if we can. Okay, we got strikers now. Wait. I didn't hear him talking about the strikers yet. I don't think the guy announced it. Oh, here we go.
And saw the introduction of a range of new technologies on the battlefield. The 8-wheeled Stryker armored combat vehicle is the first new military vehicle to enter service in the U.S. Army since the Abrams tank back in the 1980s. The vehicle was developed.
Yes, and it's almost,
in the Army's inventory,
you know,
between a lighter infantry and heavy armored unit. The Stryker armored,
and we're finding out it actually U.S. military equipment is pretty survivable. The Bradley is very survivable against drones, and the Strykers are pretty survivable in Ukraine. So Ukraine did help us battle test equipment. So that is a good thing they did.
2002, with the first Stryker brigade combat team deployed to Iraq in 2003.
You're just autistic, right? Then you know Hart hates Trump. I know they do. But I didn't realize that was meant to fuck with them. The cameras are trying to find all the minorities they can. Yes. Look at all the colors of the people. Yeah. 46 is the Sea Knight. Well, yeah. What's your favorite military movie? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it depends. Das Boot is a very good one. Das Boot is a very, very good one. Glory's very good. The Interregnum. The Interregnum was when Charles I had his head cut off, and Oliver Cromwell and the Roundheads, the Round Hats, ran the English government. No, some Green Berets coming in.
Part of the regular army and patrol the frontier from Ohio to western Illinois on horseback and by boat, with the likes of Daniel Boone and Abraham Lincoln in their ranks. After the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Rangers were called upon to lead the way in the global war on terrorism. As part of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, the 75th Ranger Regiment, based out of Fort Bragg, North.
Are they going to have like Delta Force march in this? That'd be hilarious. So, would you have a missile TISM stream with HLC? You mean habitual line crosser? I mean, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. Oh, I think that's who you're talking about. But yeah, that'd be very interesting. The Striker is what, a Bradley replacement? No, the Striker augments the Bradley. They kind of, it's more a tandem thing because not everything can fit in a Bradley, and infantrymen need a place to go as well. That's not it. They work in conjunction. They're vehicles for different roles. Bradley's they're meant to accompany armored units. So like a tank would go out and out Abrams, and Bradleys would go out together to go play. Because they would go play against the BTRs and the T-80s. The BTR is probably more equivalent to the Striker, if you're trying to find analogies there. Okay, well, we can't listen to it. There we go. So,
fighting an elusive enemy at distant places and at home requires new tools such as unmanned aerial vehicles for surveillance.
There you go, chat. The E4 Mafia representing.
Details of troop movements. The United States does not face the challenging international environment alone. Our network of allies and partners is an advantage that our
and it was cheap.
Can never hope to match. Over 80 nations have fought alongside the United States.
I don't have a VTuber on stream. Kirsha could have been doing the parade. That would have been hilarious. Or Pippa. Pippa and fucking Kirsha doing this would be great. Do you think they'll play? Do you think they'll play Kanye? No. My favorite movie, Schindler's List. Oh, Master and Commander is a good one too.
Division's climb to glory began with its establishment as the 10th Light Division in July 1943, the only one of its size in the U.S.
Yeah, the Patriots kind of like masturbatory, but it's kind of funny.
After periods spent inactive as a training division and as a standard infantry division, the unit returned to its roots in 1985 when it regained its Mountain Division designation. In the 1990s, the division participated in numerous humanitarian and peacekeeping operations. During the war on terrorism, the 10th Mountain Division proved their mettle as light fighters through repeated deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, since 2002, the 10th
I don't get the Nick farting thing.
From New York has been the most deployed regular Army unit. Its combat brigades have seen over 20 deployments to both Iraq and Afghanistan in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. To show America's military might, they have one purpose: to deter war and, if ordered, defeat the enemies of the United States of America.
If I was wrong more often, I'd be your mom. Fond of a movie wiping out Zulu Warriors, yes.
Our capabilities strengthen the force, equipping soldiers with tools they need to protect the country and defend democracy. The Army has 8 Stryker Brigade combat teams, 6 in the active component and 2 in the National Guard. More than 2/3
Look
of
at
the
that fucking
7,000
crow's mount. That thing
servicemen
is
and women who
massive.
sacrificed their lives fighting the global war on terrorism were part of one of the Army's 3 branches: active duty forces, the Army Reserve, and the Army National Guard. The Army is continuously transforming to deter aggression.
Oh, look, chat. There looks like there is a HIMARS coming.
Or outpace us. This transformation is not just about adapting; it's about maintaining dominance, ensuring that America's Army remains.
How do you know she already doesn't do that?
And ability to support the nation's strategic priorities.
We'll be doing models in a little bit. Ugh. They almost ran over the camera guy, so they had to stop. Okay, I wish we could do this, but playing Thunderstruck is great. We need, like, the Air Force doing overflies. Yeah. Oh, who was saying that they don't have HIMARS? Madiak can go in your mouth. Nope. Like, where are the blank firing things? We need some cool shit if we're doing this. Like, have them come rolling in full speed. I mean, come on. Like, trying to get everybody fired up. Oh, great. Now we got Van Halen. Yes, we went to go to have lunch and drove by some. I'll talk about it when we're done. Yes, David Lee Roth is Van Halen. Oh, we're gonna have to drop it out again for a minute, chat. That's so sad. Be better if it was back in black as they just started rolling through. You know, having the Bradleys come charging through at like 30 miles an hour, like in a spearhead formation, and some Abrams hauling behind it. Sponsored by Palantir, chat. Yes! Because when you want your data secured by a private company who will use it against you, Palantir has got all your needs considered. Palantir. So. Where all the dependas at. They should have part of the parade. Well, they got the thermal viewer on this one. So this is the upgraded Bradley. Look, somebody wanted a Hummer. There you go. Tesla and SpaceX, yeah. There you go, chat. M1A2 SEP V3. It's got the crow's mount up top. Yeah, they should be playing fucking Sabaton right now.
Today, the U.S. Army's mission is to deploy, fight, and win our nation's wars. How?
The modern army.
Ready, prompt, and sustained land
Bolt thrower would be good too.
across the full spectrum of the conflict as part of the joint force.
No UCP chat. No UCP camouflage. I think John Philip Sousa's great, and they could have done a lot of good stuff here. Yes, Bolt Thrower did get dick slapped, but they have good shit. We've got an M77 right there.
Ready and nimble makes transportation for the U.S. Army a very vital element. Spread across the parade today, numerous fighting vehicles, some designed for very specific functions and others for flexibility, but they all must be maintained. With over 200,000 trucks alone, wheeled vehicle mechanisms ensure that the fleet of vehicles are ready, and these mechanics get the job done. This convoy starts with the M777, a lightweight howitzer. These lightweight howitzers may not look particularly lightweight, but are made from titanium. They are 7,000 pounds lighter than their predecessor, the old M198. Used by the Army since 2005, the M777 is currently being used in Ukraine. Weighing only 4,700 pounds, the M198
Well, yeah, and they're breaking them in Ukraine because they're not built for high-intensity combat. Yes, and they're breaking because that thing is meant to be helicoptered up to the top of a mountaintop somewhere. That's why it's very light. Using it the way the Ukrainians use it, they blow out the hydraulic systems and ruin them.
Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in 1991 is also seeing active use in Ukraine.
How does that barrel not bend? That barrel is like inches thick.
The 7th Infantry Division stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord has been seeing...
Wait, hold on. Are they really playing this now?
World War I. From Europe to the Aleutian Islands, Japan, Korea, Afghanistan, and the Pacific, the Bayonet Division boasts a proud history of answering the call of its motto, "Trust in Me." With
Really, they're playing it now?
Sent to deployments and conflicts around the globe since it was founded, the division returned to Fort Lewis in 1971, its first time on American soil since 1934. The 7th Division, originally called the Hourglass Division due to their patch design, gained the nickname Bayonet Division during their deployment to Korea in June of 1950. At Incheon Landing during the liberation of Seoul, they were credited with plunging the bayonet into the heart of the enemy, with 13 members of the division receiving the Medal of Honor. The 7th enables and sustains the combat readiness of 2 Stryker Brigade combat teams and a combat aviation brigade.
Well, okay, I can't explain this, but that's how you tow artillery around. It's been towed around that way for a long time. Those barrels are thick as fuck. You are not going to hurt it by towing it around like that. I couldn't find the stat.
With the American soldier, the cornerstone of everything the Army does, we are continuously transforming. Army careers span the spectrum from attorneys to astronauts and mechanics to engineers. The Army's greatest asset is our people, the finest men and women our great nation has to offer, with a myriad of talents that make us stronger. Aside from its people,
Super
the
strong.
Army's next greatest asset is
Oh, wow,
its
we're doing
technology
like...
and equipment.
Oh, I thought it was meant to be like
Coming up
thermal
next,
mode.
These vehicles offer a glimpse of what the Army employs for readiness and battle. The portable howitzers and the portable Abrams tank, were used extensively in the Gulf War, along with
The
Bradley
affordable-
tanks and the infantry
The affordable chat. Remember to tip your defense contractor. Toss a coin to your contractor.
squad vehicle. The ISB provides enhanced tactical mobility of an infantry brigade combat team. This allows commanders greater freedom of movement and action. The ISB provides the warfighter with increased flexibility to ensure infantry units maintain momentum to achieve mission success.
You can buy them in Afghanistan, yes. Metallica's so obsessed they'll DMCA the fucking parade, I bet. Announcer chat. I think Pete Hegseth had a choice in playing this stuff. Play fucking Pantera. Yes, it would be. Very true.
When duty calls, U.S. Army soldiers don't just answer, they lead. From Fort Bragg, witness a powerful demonstration of strength, purpose, and the unmatched capability of today's Army.
Oh, they're going to do some combined arms shit, I bet.
The Army has made me see my potential, and I feel like it's molded me into a better person.
I grew up in a very patriotic household. My grandfather, he served in World War II, and his brother, my uncle, served in Vietnam. I can do this. If they can do this, I can
Okay,
do
that
this.
dude's got a pretty cool
I was
mustache.
born, my dad was still serving in the military, and him coming home in his uniform, I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
Ready for takeoff. My motivation, I think it follows in line. I think with what my family's done is kind of a sense of duty to serve our country and give back since it's given us so much.
I'm a very, let's say, timid person, but definitely helped me become a more confident person.
Working with a group and my peers, it really shows how much working with the team can strengthen you.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go? I derive a lot of purpose from serving others. I think serving something bigger than myself gets me out of bed every day. Thank you, Carl. Keep up,
I definitely pushed myself further than I ever thought I could go.
I joined the military service because I want to deploy. That's my main goal, is deploy, deploy, deploy.
If we get the call, we have to go somewhere, we'll do what needs to be done. That's just the way we operate here.
This is one of the few jobs in the nation where we all take an oath to say, I'm willing to put my life on the line for you, and they're willing to put their life on the line for me.
This is what we train for. This is what we're going to do. My team leaders and squad leaders, they know exactly what to do. Check equipment, check weapons, check ammo.
We're
Where's
always
Airwolf?
ready to deploy within 18 hours and handle the mission at task.
Okay, that'd be fucking cool to watch those crank off.
We jump so frequently so that our jump masters and paratroopers are ready to deploy.
I'm very passionate about being a jump master. The paratroopers, they see you and, you know, they believe in you. I love to instill that confidence with my passion into those paratroopers. It's a rush. It's great.
Drop in clear for personnel drop.
This week we honor 250 years of valor and glory and triumph by the
I know, it's nice. They're not
greatest
talking about
fighting
having
force
two moms
ever to
anymore.
walk the face of the earth, the United States Army. For 2.5 centuries, our soldiers have marched into the raging fires of battle and obliterated America's enemies.
I love the Army. It is a great place to set yourself up for success, to prepare yourself for the future.
God bless you, God bless our soldiers, and God bless the U.S. Army.
We love our cops. We love our law enforcement.
Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska is the home to America's Arctic Angels, who execute expeditionary operations
Jesus,
worldwide,
no.
conduct multi-domain operations in the Indo-Pacific Theater and the Arctic, and on order decisively defeat any adversary in extreme cold weather, mountainous and high-latitude environments through large-scale combat operations. The Angels are the Army's only Arctic division. Masters of Arctic warfare, the 11th serves worldwide in all climates.
Yes, it's an
Established
airborne
in
division,
November of
too.
1942, the Angels of the 11th Airborne Division led the way in the Philippines during World War II and spearheaded an amphibious invasion of Luzon and distinguished themselves
Yes,
during
this is to
the
intimidate
liberation of
Greenland.
Manila. After periods spent inactive and stationed in Germany from 1963 to 65, the division operated as the 11th Air Assault Division with the mission of testing and refining the Army's helicopter-centric air mobility doctrine. Activated once again in June of 2022, they remain dedicated to defending America's interests throughout the Arctic, in Alaska, and beyond. The 11th Airborne Division, America's Arctic Angels. Requiring ongoing maintenance in the field and on base because nothing happens until something moves, wheeled vehicle mechanics supervise and perform maintenance, repair, and recovery operations on vehicles that serve the Army in a variety of mission-critical roles. Included in the array of mobile artillery,
This is
such as
totally
paladins
Pete Hex's
and the Abrams
mixtape.
tank, is the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle known as the JLTV. It's highly adaptable, providing protected and sustained mobility for personnel and payloads.
It's 100%.
The JLTV is known for its off-road capability while providing armor against small arms and improvised explosive devices. The JLTV, right there.
The cleanest those Bradleys are ever going to be. So, what's the Jeep looking thing? That's the new, basically the new lightweight. This thing right here is meant to be the new, the JLTV. It's meant to be their light attack vehicles. Because they realize having up-armored Humvees are drone targets. So they're going back to lightweight fast vehicles. Which is what the Humvee originally was. And then we added tons of shit to them. So. No doors? Nope. That's where the ideas come from. Yeah, this is kind of gay compared to other countries. Like I said, France has a phenomenal military parade. And the trooping of the colors is also very well done. Yes, heavy equals IED problems, yes. Elf's right. 4 doors and no whores. It's even better. That's too much shit they have to keep track of. They wouldn't want to risk troops losing their shit. Because that would also be scary, I think. People would really think that. Mm-hmm. Will they play in the Hell March soon? That'd be great.
The U.S. Army Reserve is inseparably linked to America's long-standing citizen soldier tradition. Organizationally, the Reserve's roots lie in the Medical Reserve Corps, established back in 1908 to provide a ready reserve of medical manpower.
They're going to end with Freebird.
Folded into the new offices of the officers.
The announcer is going to be like, ladies and gentlemen, can we get some more subs for the U.S. Army? But yes, guys, that thing looks like a big side-by-side. That's because that's what they invented it from. But yes, they're lightweight mobility vehicles because if you're slow, you die now because of the drones and artillery problems. Speed is life out on the battlefields.
Reserve Corps in 1917. Reserve organizations furnished crucial manpower to the Army during World War I.
Let's get some subs!
The organization of organized reserve. During World War II, the Army activated 26 organized reserve infantry divisions, and roughly a quarter of the Army's officer corps came from the reserve during the conflict. During the Korean War, the Organized Reserve Corps was reorganized and redesignated the U.S. Army Reserve. The Army Reserve has since served as a vital source of manpower for the force during times of need, gradually transitioning from a strategic force to an operational force in response to the pressures of the war on terrorism. In the 170,000 Army Reserve soldiers and 11,000 civilians serving their home
communities, and we'll get to that.
When needed, they can quickly mobilize. The Army can't deploy, they can't fight or win without the Army Reserve. They are an important component of Army readiness. Survivability, create efficiency, and streamline processes. The Striker is a great example of assessing evolving needs and developing the solution. Strikers provide a balance between heavy armor and infantry brigade and combat teams.
How does right now work? Isn't right now would be a very anti-war song, anti-military song, I think. Angry cops should be out there. I mean, yes, because we're not in the Middle East anymore. And for the majority, like before we went to war in the Middle East, everything was painted green and NATO 3 color. So, yes, we anticipate not using big tan vehicles anymore. We're going to be fighting in different colored environments. Going back to what we know. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, in any significant numbers that we were previously deployed. Okay, God almighty, Snoop. Pampa-lampa, stampa-lamp. Three doors down. Oh, buddy. Where's the new and cool stuff? You're seeing the new and cool stuff. Yes, everything was painted and cleaned up for the parade. Yes. When the fuck did I say that? Not even good trolling at that point.
War II's most heroic defenses. Belgium in December.
Okay. Okay, you talked about the 101st, like where we got the HIMARS. Somebody said we don't have, doesn't exist. More artillery coming. Okay. Oh, great, the XM7. I'm sure that guys want to carry that fucker around all day.
The unit before you is a platoon from the multi-purpose company's 2nd Battalion, 327th Infantry Regiment, 1st Mobile Brigade, 101st Airborne Division, Bastogne. They are showcasing the Army's Transformation in Contact Initiative, a program that allows the Army to rapidly test, evaluate, and equip our soldiers with the newest technologies. Modern, mobile, and mission-ready, the Bastogne Brigade continues to adapt to new threats while staying rooted in the fierce resilience that defined its birth. They are carrying the next-generation squad weapons, the XM7 and XM250, both equipped with the XM157 optic. The vehicles are the infantry squad vehicle, a new mobility asset that can rapidly move through most terrain types. The trailer is the S-MET, and it's capable of carrying heavy loads under its own power through restrictive terrain. This platoon is equipped with 3 types of small unmanned aerial systems. They are the Ghost X, located on the S-MET, the C-100.
God.
And
I guarantee there's a Secret Service guy with a drone rifle sitting right there.
Which are flying above the
getting ready to take
right
that
now.
out. When did I say the Patriot system was ineffective? Holy shit. You're just not like just fucking... Somebody must have hurt your feelings. I don't know who it is. I'm sorry if they did. Does the Secret Service have javelins? I guarantee you they have access to everything. I guarantee you they have AT-4s and everything. I feel bad for the guy, like his one job. It's like everybody else gets to carry a rifle, and they're like, "What's your job? Just carry the drone like you're carrying a pizza." Like that's gonna hurt your arm. After a while, your arm's gonna be like, ah. Like that would kind of suck, I think. Okay, now you're just trolling. Now you're just trolling. Oh, wait, 2.0 is like, are you sure that's not Nick? I'm like, no, Snoop is far more intelligent than Nick is about things. There's no way in fuck that's Nick.
The Bradley fighting vehicle has proved itself to be lethal and survivable in multiple theaters since it first fielded back in the 1980s. Designed as a troop transport, tank killer, and to match speed with an Abrams tank, the Bradley is a fierce fighting machine. The Bradley accompanies American troops often with the M1A1 Abrams tank, nicknamed the Beast and Whispering Death because of its firepower, accuracy while moving, and its stealth. Together, they offer mobility and firepower.
It's called Whispering Death because of the turbine engine. It's so quiet compared to other stuff. Holy shit. Yes, the third time we're talking about the Bradley. Yes. Compared to a diesel tank going through the woods, it's quiet. They say, yeah, the troops look like they're having fun. I'm sure they're not doing like some shitty. Yeah, 'cause they're probably not painting fucking rocks somewhere or doing some shitty detail. Like, this is not probably the worst detail ever. They probably got a lot of good food and, you know, all their equipment fucking works for once. So I'm sure they're thrilled. Also, I'm not gonna lie. Instead of having a couple of tanks here, I think this. Oh, we got Apaches coming in, dope. I think a couple of like Revolutionary War cannons sitting out front would have been a lot cooler of a look than a couple of tanks. Although I do like the tank camo.
The AH-64 Apache.
There we go.
It's the premier attack helicopter in the world.
Why aren't they flying lower?
The
That would be
Apache
so
entered
cooler.
service in the mid-1980s and continues to evolve and modify to meet worldwide threats. It can deliver intense fire on the battlefield with an array of aerial rockets, guided Hellfire missiles, along with 30-millimeter cannon fire. The aircraft you see here is configured with a sophisticated targeting radar system and can operate in poor visibility and in the black of night. With more than 1,280 aircraft in operation accumulating
They got their per diems, yeah.
flight hours, 1.3 million of which have been in combat, the AH-64 Apache represents the backbone of the U.S. Army's attack helicopter fleet and a growing number of international defense forces.
I see. Stop mowing lawns in the 90s. I have heard people haven't, though. Then have him open fire on the crowd. Yeah, well.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Lockheed Martin.
Where's SpaceX? Or Tesla? The future!
Now, let's roll on to the future. The
Oh, they
Army
got
Research
Robodog!
Laboratory robot dogs reflect the latest in Army innovation. Look at this. Much like a true canine, these robots can go where soldiers cannot. They have increased mobility, improved tactical awareness, reduced risk to soldiers, and enhanced teamwork. Replacing soldiers, robot dogs can explore terrain that may be difficult for soldiers to traverse, dispose of explosive ordnance, and act in defensive posture or aggressive capacity when armed.
Look at the good boys. They haven't gone crazy yet. Look, there goes some Chinooks. There you go. You got your Chinooks.
The Ghost Robot Dog is another innovation that can adapt seamlessly for various missions from recon to bomb recognition. These dogs reduce risk and support soldiers completely in high-stakes missions. They have a standard walk speed of 2 miles per hour and are working towards 6.7 miles per
That's a
hour
real
sprint.
play. I want to see it run at, like, make it run at full speed. That would look cool. Make it gallop. Oh, those don't have fueling probes on them. The Ripsaw. Is this the Ripsaw thing from that How and How Tech guys? It is, I think. Wow, you can hear the you can hear the Chinooks. Why don't we go back to the thing with the 30 millimeter cannon on it? I wanted to see that. What? Why don't we get to
As
see the
oldest
fucking...
continuously serving Army band and the oldest unit at West Point, this is the United States Military Academy Band, ladies and gentlemen. West Point Band traces its history to a single drummer and fifer appointed by George Washington during the American Revolution. Over the next 2 centuries, this band evolved into one of the most capable and versatile performing groups in the world. One of the most prestigious institutions in the world where leadership is forged and duty becomes destiny. This is West Point, where Army leaders are made. With the motto of duty, honor, and country, West Point trains the best and brightest to serve their country as Army officers. Founded back in 1802 by President Thomas Jefferson, West Point is the home of the Long Gray Line, a legacy of courage and excellence that includes
Well, I mean, they're no
77 Medal of
VMI,
Honor
but they're pretty good at
recipients,
West Point.
2 U.S. presidents, Grant and Eisenhower, and numerous generals, including John J. Pershing, Douglas MacArthur, and Norman Schwarzkopf. Upon entering the United States Army, all recruits undergo initial entry training, a highly intense and a challenging training period aimed at developing a soldier's physical and mental toughness, instill discipline, train them in essential combat skills.
We'll talk about that, but it's called a Shako.
And foster
Part of the
teamwork.
uniform.
IET transforms civilians into soldiers based on the 7 core Army values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage.
I mean, it kind of feels like it.
The Virginia Military Institute, on a mission to produce citizen soldiers, men and women educated for civilian life, prepared to serve their country in the armed forces.
These are VMI right here. The finest military school in the country, in the world. If you ask VMI recruits or grads.
VMI counts a Nobel Prize winner, 11 Rhodes Scholars, generals, 7 Medal of Honor recipients, and a Pulitzer Prize winner among its graduates. As one of the nation's senior military colleges, students at Virginia Military Institute can participate in Army ROTC or the Corps of Cadets. While cadets in the Corps can serve in any branch of the United States military or pursue other careers, those in Army ROTC earn their commission as officers, ready to serve on active duty in the National Guard or Army Reserve. Each year, the Army Senior ROTC Blue Ridge Battalion commissions approximately 130 second lieutenants, ensuring that excellence in leadership continues in generations to come. The Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, offers students the opportunity to participate in Army ROTC or the Historic Corps of Cadets. Founded in 1842, the Citadel is the 3rd oldest of the senior military colleges and is known for its Corps of Cadets living and studying under a classical military system that makes leadership and character development essential. While military service is not required at graduation, more than 120 students earn their commission each year through the Army Senior ROTC Palmetto Battalion, playing a vital role in shaping the future. As one of the nation's senior military colleges, Texas A&M University is home to both Army ROTC and the renowned Corps of Cadets. The Corps of Cadets' central purposes has remained building individuals that exemplify respect, excellence,
Boo
leadership,
the
loyalty,
Yankees!
integrity, and selfless service.
Boo.
Students at the university who participate in the Army ROTC earn their commission as officers ready to serve on active duty in the National Guard or Army Reserve. Each year, the Army Senior ROTC Warrior Training Battalion at Texas A&M proudly commissions more than 90 second lieutenants and is honored to shape the future leaders of the U.S. Army.
Those are riding pants meant for the boots.
In a powerful display of commitment, these future soldiers will raise their right hand and take an oath of enlistment, pledging to serve our nation. This joint formation is proudly led by the Joint Task Force, National Capital Region, and the Military District of Washington Retention Team.
Wait, what?
Shaping tomorrow's Army, West Point's most inspiring cadets remind us that America's future is courageous and in capable hands.
The pride to serve my country knows that I'm doing it not for myself. Every day I put on the uniform, I'm not just representing Caroline Robinson. I'm representing my company here at the Academy. I'm representing West Point. I'm representing the United States Army, and ultimately, I'm representing the United States of America.
I really came to West Point because belief in the American dream and giving back to our country.
You're a part of something that is much bigger than yourself. You're a part of a tradition of excellence and a legacy that's connected not only to the Academy, but to the American Army.
I'm surrounded by people who want to make themselves better and serve our country.
Excellence is their baseline, and that to me is what it means to be a West Point cadet.
From the earliest days of our nation, this supreme tradition of American military service has been passed down from soldier to soldier and generation to generation, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
My brother preceded me here, and originally I didn't really know what West Point was until he came. But when I saw the mission that they were committed to, of upholding the principles of American democracy and protecting the Constitution, I knew it was somewhere I had to be.
Every time that we lived outside of the United States, I always developed this sense of gratitude and pride of being an American, and I wanted to give back to my country what it gave to me.
And it wasn't until I zipped up the blouse and I put the belt on for the first time that I realized that I was going to be serving my country, and it felt right. West Point was the place that I needed to be, and more importantly, the Army was where I wanted to be.
I just looked to the left and right over basic training and realized that we all had the same American patch on our shoulders, that we're all fighting for the same thing. I mean, there is no better feeling in the world knowing that every single person around you is committed and willing to die for that mission.
You came for excellence, you came for duty, you came to serve your country, and you came to show yourselves that you are among the smartest, toughest, strongest, most lethal warriors ever to walk on this planet.
What excites me the most about my future in the Army is the opportunity that I'm going to have to give back to the American soldiers that I'm going to be leading.
Because ultimately, they don't get to choose. And to me, it's that burden of responsibility to be the best leader.
And as a young officer, that's going to be exactly what I get to do.
I was the cadet basic training first detail for the first 3 weeks. And I got to see the new cadets come in from their families' homes and being in process on their very first day and watching them grow so quickly.
I would do all the formations, and I looked out at these 1,000 new cadets, people who just come out of high school. They were completely different people.
I don't think there's another institution in the country like West Point where the student body is so committed to furthering the mission of America and ensuring our democracy and freedom for generations.
Jesus, robot clock.
I'm really surrounded by the best of the best, and that's when I realized this is a place that I absolutely want to be.
West Point itself is an amazing institution, but it only provides opportunities. The people here have to choose to take those opportunities and grow and lead and serve. And the people here want to do that. And I'm proud to be a part of that. And I would tell any high schooler who is considering it, you won't regret it.
Okay, so let's see. Oh,
Mr. President, First Sergeant Norton reporting for duty, sir. Ready to commence the ceremony as directed.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
okay, this is pretty cool. Your
Against
enlistment
all
or your
enemies,
re-enlistment with Trump.
Foreign and
Nobody,
domestic,
like, how many people have that happen?
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders
They're gonna be like, this is just
of the
like
President of the
Hitler.
United States
No, they're gonna shit
and the
themselves over
orders
this now.
of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations. Welcome to the United States Army, and have
All right,
a
guys, I'll
great
be right back. I
life.
have to pee.
Thank you very much. Have a great life. Thank you.
Ranger School is the best life insurance policy for our Army. It will always end with two people facing off with each other, and we need young leaders to be able to close with and destroy the enemy and defend our nation's interests forward.
Surrender is not a Ranger word. It's not an option. I know that I'm not going to be able to get to do this again. This is my chance.
It all starts at the legendary Ranger School, the crucible where these elite warriors are forged. It has been described as the longest approved gut check in the Army. Over 62 days, students will patrol hundreds of miles over mountains and through swamps under the crushing weight of their equipment. All the while, they are deprived of both food and sleep, forced to perform at the very edge of their physical limits. But it's not just the physical challenges that make Ranger School so intense. The mental strain will break these soldiers down to their core.
If I have a come to God moment, I take my PC off my patrol cap, and on the inside of that, my commander gave me a Ranger tab, the yellow and black one that you get during graduation, and I pinned it to the inside of my PC.
Ranger School is not for the faint of heart.
Holy shit.
But
Okay, he's lucky the fucking Ranger instructors didn't know he had a fucking tab on him. They'd have fucking hazed him till he died.
for those who are up to the challenge, it is the ultimate proving ground.
They already didn't have enough beds for people in our company. And our eyes reminded us that we don't have enough beds because there's not going to be this many people by tomorrow. Just a slight reminder that there's too many of you anyways, and not all of you are going to pass.
Rangers, if you don't figure it out, you're about to get another casualty.
It's completely different than what people would think Ranger School is like, but you can't put that into words, so it's hard to tell somebody something that you have to experience for yourself.
They got a saying, it's called As the Tab Turns. So Ranger School is continuing to change and to develop, but at the end of the day, it is the same, right? They're always going to put you in scenarios that is going to test your ability to actually make decisions on the ground.
As you go through Ranger School, it is a gut check. It's going to check you out. And what's going to get you through it is whether you have it or not. Thousands and thousands of soldiers train all their lives to come here, prepare themselves to come to Ranger School, and only a few hundred leave here every class with the tab. It's not for everyone.
I'm not going to leave until I get it, so just buckle down, stop complaining, and just get the job done.
Please welcome country music
What's the
sensation
tab?
and proud supporter of our troops, Warren Ziders.
The Ranger tab is this. It's literally what you get for graduating Ranger school. It's a point of pride getting one. And, depending on the unit you're in, especially infantry units or combat arms units, it's kind of like if you don't get one, you're kind of a piece of shit. So getting a Ranger tab that's what they mean by getting tabbed. But there's also like a Special Forces tab, a Sapper tab. There's the President's 100 is a tab. There's a couple different tabs you can wear. There's a sniper tab. So that's what they mean by tabs. No. So hold on, where did that go? Oh, here we go. Gay. Gay, 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 gay. Gay and cringing gay. That's why we live in the USA. Did I mention that it was cringing gay?
How much sport you guys do.
Okay.
This next song was loved by y'all. So if you know the words, please sing along. This song's called Ride the Lightning, y'all.
Okay, this is actually good. This one's good. Warren Ziders, guys, if you don't know who it is. We're riding the lightning, feel the thunder.
Mama always said I was born on the right side. Yes, she did. One foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming. I can see the warning signs. Mama always said I was born on the wild side. I guess Mama was
right. When the clock strikes midnight, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the Lord pull me under. Sorry.
Great and good Lord lifts me high, saying, oh, when they call me on, saying, oh, when they call me.
This is better than other stuff, guys. A lot of the music out there. So, what? Oh, killing the cats. So, who are these goobers? It's Warren Ziders. He's a lot better than other country out there, guys. So, no, he's not bad. They should have Hank Williams Jr. III. I don't think they would have allowed that. So, Whiskey Myers is better. Yeah. So, Morgan Wallen would have been even better. But they can't have him there because he likes to say the N-word. So, that's the problem. They could have had certain people there. It would have been great. So, you're here just to boo the guys in blue uniforms. Oh, yeah, Evan Sturgill. Yep, he'd be great. Yeah, but these guys got their re-enlistments and they got per diems. It was great. Whiskey Myers sucks live. Well, yeah, but that's not. Yeah, next up is going to be an audio reading of Death of the West by Pat Robertson. Kid Rock would have been perfect. Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been hilarious. So. So. I hope it's if you guys are asking questions, I'm trying to answer them. Hayden Harris says, as a Nashville resident, this is tolerable. I know David Allan Coe is about to die. So you got to work with what you got, chat. You got to work with what you got. So why does that mic stand look like the Schutzestaffel S? Because it's a big lightning bolt. Because his songs ride the lightning. So it's a big lightning bolt. It's not a moon rune lightning bolt. It's just a lightning bolt. So mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So oh buddy. Yeah, Oliver Anthony put out a new banger. Yes, he did. Yes. Yeah, Ryan Bingham's pretty good. Oh, he's a big time like libertarded douchebag, so the moon runes are different from the Nepon real runes are from snow apes. No, it says that it already ended. I don't think so. Maybe it did. Let's see. Let's see. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. Okay.
This week we honor 250 years of valor and glory and triumph by the greatest fighting force ever to walk the face of the earth, the United States Army.
It's funny because you said Marine Corps.
Each of you on the field today is among the most talented members of your generation. You could have done anything you wanted. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to any school. Matt's incredible heroism helped ensure that not a single American soldier died in the Battle of Shock Valley. For 2.5 centuries, our soldiers have marched into the raging fires of battle and obliterated America's enemies. The dignity, daring, and devotion of the American military is unrivaled anywhere in history and any place in the world. Our soldiers do not rest until they win. Our citizens know that you're standing guard, killing terrorists, crushing our enemies, and keeping America safe. But you're also keeping it strong and proud and mighty and free. This week we remember that we only have a country because we first had an army. As President of the United States, let me express my undying gratitude for every soldier here today, for every veteran and their incredible families, and for every patriot who has worn the uniform. Our debt to you is infinite and everlasting.
Well, if they don't now
With
like
the
count
grace
like
of
commies,
God,
yes, it will be, but who knows?
America will always prevail.
Well, let me say to the thousands of Americans who traveled from distant towns and across state lines to be here today, this is your national capital. Welcome to Washington, D.C. We are thrilled to have you. This evening, as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army, the oldest branch of the greatest fighting force ever known to man, I want to say to all the soldiers all across our nation's capital and all across the world, happy birthday, soldiers. We're proud of you. And I want to say you represent an unbroken line of greatness, of excellence. And one of the things the President of the United States has told his entire administration, from the Vice President on down, is that we must remember that the young men and women who put on the uniform and serve this nation are our most precious resource. We must honor them. We must respect them. We must fight for them. And that's exactly what the Trump administration aims to do every single day. And so to our soldiers, we're so proud of you. And let me tell you that the way that we honor and respect you is, number one, we never ask you to go to war unless you absolutely have to. And number two, when we do ask you to go to war, we give you the weapons and the support needed to kick the hell out of the enemy and come back home safely. Now, I know I am the last thing standing between event, and that is a dangerous place to be with a lot of soldiers in the audience. So let me just say a couple of quick additional thoughts. First of all, June the 14th is, of course, the birthday of the Army. It is, of course, the birthday of the President of the United States, and happy birthday, Mr. President. But I would get in trouble if I didn't mention that it's also my wedding anniversary. And so to my lovely wife, I love you, honey. Happy anniversary. And thank you for everything that you do for our country. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the 45th and 47th Commander-in-Chief of the United States military, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady, and above all, thank you to the greatest, fiercest, and bravest fighting force ever to stride the face of this earth, the United States Army. Thank you very much. Because the Army keeps us free, you make us strong, and tonight, you have made all Americans very proud. They're watching from all over the world, actually. Made them all very proud. Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too. That's what we're doing tonight. And watching this magnificent display, our souls are filled with gratitude for every generation of warriors who have worn the uniform all the way back to the very beginning. So to every veteran across our land and right here in our nation's capital, including 6 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, we love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country. As we celebrate tonight, we also think of the hundreds of thousands of Army soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice for our nation and selflessly laid down their lives in every war, from the Revolution to the War on Terror. To the Gold Star families with us today, the courage of your heroes is the bedrock on which our entire nation stands. We thank you. Yes, we thank you. Today we commemorate an event that did not just change American history, but changed the history of the entire world. With the creation of America's Army on June 14th, 1775, liberty got its shield and the freedom got its sword. Those first Army patriots in the American Revolution fought against a fearsome enemy and impossible odds, but they were armed with a righteous cause. They were led by an indomitable commander, a truly great man, General George Washington. and they were united by an eternal creed. Their motto is victory or death. Over the past 2.5 centuries, our warriors have shown unrivaled valor on fields of battle around the globe. With the frostbitten feet and bloody fist, they have marched into the flames and fury of combat, charged up mountains, stormed beaches, waded through torrents of gunfire, and leapt into skies thick with smoke and shrapnel. The U.S. Army has driven bayonets into the heart of sinister empires, crushed the ambitions of evil tyrants. Beneath the threads of American tanks, it's done so well, it's done so much, and sent the devil himself flying into full retreat. Time and again, America's enemies have learned that if you threaten the American people, our soldiers are coming for you. Your defeat will be certain, your demise will be final, and your downfall will be total and complete. Because our soldiers never give up, never surrender, and never, ever quit. They fight, 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 and they win, win, win. And that's why no institution in history has entered more names into the roster of American heroes than the U.S. Army, the Congressional Medal of Honor, more than anyone or anything. There was Mad Anthony Wayne, asked by George Washington to lead a daring midnight raid up the cliffs of Stony Point with unloaded muskets and only their bayonets to fight the redcoats. Mad Anthony replied, "Issue the order, sir, and I will storm into hell for you." Then there was the Civil War general, John Corse, shot in the face in combat. He fired off a message to his commander: "I am short a cheekbone and one ear, but I am able to whip the hell out of all of them." He stayed on the front lines, it seemed forever. In World War II, there was the great Creighton Abrams, besieged on all sides by the Nazis at the Battle of the Bulge. He boldly proclaimed, "They've got us surrounded again, the poor bastards." This is the fighting spirit and unyielding force of the U.S. Army. It has never changed, and it will never, ever change, because there is no earthly force more powerful than the brave heart of a U.S. infantryman or an Army Ranger, paratrooper, or Green Beret. They are the best. They are the finest. From Bunker Hill to San Juan Hill, from Gettysburg to Guadalcanal, from Yorktown to Shiloh, and from the trenches of the Argonne to the mountains of Afghanistan, the Army has forged a legacy of unmatched courage, untold sacrifice, and unequaled and undying glory. Our soldiers have poured out their blood by the bucketful on Missionary Ridge and Heartbreak Ridge, on the sands of Sicily, Normandy, and the Philippines, and on the dusty streets
Wait, I
of
thought
Da
Heartbreak
Nang,
Ridge was the Marines.
Baghdad, and Fallujah.
Unless there was another Heartbreak
Thanks to their
Ridge.
extraordinary service
Oh.
and devotion, 250 years later, America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now. And our country will soon be greater and stronger than ever before. Down through history, we've been blessed beyond words by this valiant legion of Army warriors and patriots, heroes and legends. And tonight we affirm with unwavering certainty that in the years ahead and in every generation hence, whenever duty calls and whatever danger comes, the American soldier will be there. No matter the risk, no matter the obstacles, our warriors will charge into battle. They will plunge into the crucible of fire, and they will seize the crown of victory. because the United States of America will always have the grace of Almighty God and the iron will of the United States Army. Congratulations to everybody. We love our country. We've never done better. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Army, and God bless America. And now I'd like to ask our great First Lady to join me at the podium. Thank you very much, everybody.
That guy who ran the whole time, like, he ran up earlier, so.
Mr. President, on behalf of the United States Army, the Army Golden Knights, I would like to present to you this flag, which was flown over our nation's capital in free fall during the Army's 250th birthday celebration.
Okay, yeah, we're not doing this right now. Oh, no. God, Lee Greenwood is not dead yet. How is he not dead yet? I don't even like that suit. That suit combination is not good. That crosshatch with the tie. You can't do that, Lee. Your tie, and you can't clash patterns like that. Jesus. I suck at clothing, and I know that. Stick with one or the other. I'd prefer your jacket by itself, but you can't do dots and crosshatch. That don't work, That don't work, Holmes. It's Lee Greenwood. Proud to be an American. I like him otherwise. And I can't have it on because we'll get copy struck. Are you proud? I'm more proud to be an American than you are. It's a statement, all right. So, even she doesn't like the tie. It's called swagger. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'll be right back. Exactly, you try to tell me to wait. Somebody just super chatted in. Let me see. Funky Monkey says, Sean, do you care if I dox Marlene? Yes, do not dox people on this channel. Go do it on your own time. You don't do it here. I don't need YouTube fucking me over, so not on here. Take my copy strike like a champ. Who tried to tell you to the mods? We don't have rules here. I'm in charge. That's the rule. Do you fly a flag outside your house? Well, ours is down, but yes. Normally, I fly the Kriegsmarine Naval Jack. 2.0 doesn't like it. But we do. By the flag of the 2nd SS Das Reich. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hi, chat. We're back. Looks like it's over till the fireworks start. So we got the super chat stuff to get on. My second pizza, third pizza, homie. Come on. All right. We got to go all the way to the beginning, chat. EDW out for $10. Thanks for having this stream. Of course, homie. Nick Kreuzer for $10 says, this reminds me of how much I don't miss marching band. God forever bless the alto sax.
Thank you, yes, Army. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
EDW Raptor for $5 says, first heal for the goal.
alongside my grandfather and my great-grandfather. For
Dolly
your service,
Talks
for your-
says, for 16 months, thank you for the support, Dolly. This is very North Korean. Well, thank you, Dolly. EDW Raptor says, first heal again for the official goal. Thank you. Nico says, God bless the Army. God bless the United States of America. God bless the chat. And God bless the goal. That's really what needs God blessed. Little Jen that could says, a Navy veteran. Well, thank you for your service. Helping to celebrate the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. Well, the Navy's birthday is coming up soon. Many thanks to all Army veterans and their families for their service. USA. Yes. Ag is saying that it sucked in the Civil War with the shoes. Yes, because in the Civil War, you just had a shoe, and it was not left-footed or right-footed. You just got a shoe. Imagine how fucking awful that would be. But they didn't have left and right-footed shoes. So, yeah. Rough. Benjamin says, Angela, you got them blue crabs? I've been told I need a Maryland crab cake. Well, Maryland crab cakes are good, but yes, Maryland blue crab, mwah. Totally good stuff out there. Felzu says the 4th Infantry Division. Yes, the IV Division. They were Indian fighters. Yes, they were. Funky Monkey for $2 says, love you, Sean. Sorry about Yamal being a Spurg. Well, it is what it is. AC-75 says Eisenhower is the command of that convoy after the end of World War I. Yes, the 1919 expedition. And that was meant to demonstrate U.S. Army's mobility operations. And it was a test of it. So it's funny they were testing shit back then, too. Uh-oh, we got music. Oh. You ain't by one. Wait, how is it that park in DC? It's open. It's still really bright here in Ohio. Holy shit. Oh, they're darkening the screen. Okay. He's rolling along. Tech Guy's house, was that cringe? Yes, that was cringe. This is why we don't do military parades. Yes, Maddie. Very correct. Mad Rhetoric says, rent a Sherman from who? The Taliban? There are a lot of Shermans in private possession. Bebop and Rocksteady, it's good to see you. It's been a little while, man, for $10. Says the entire production needs to be taken up for the next level, America's 250th. More music, more fireworks, more troops. I want an eagle with a Piccolo Pete strapped to it flying across the screen. USA, USA. Yes, I agree. Belzu says, we need a new Freedom Train for 2026. That tour was awesome in 1976. Yes, it was. Oingo Boingo says, I'm going to make fun of legs. 82nd Airborne all the way. Guys, legs are Army soldiers who don't have airborne. They haven't been to airborne school, meaning they walk everywhere. But yes, that's why they're called legs.
When I raised my right hand, I swore an oath to
T Money says, why are we not talking about Gulf War syndrome? Because we realize that's not actually a thing anymore. It's a lot of like autoimmune issues and psychosomatic things that have happened. Obscure Destination Outdoors, Ron and Tony, how you guys doing? It says, happy Flag Day and God bless America. I agree. Bush says, have I seen the Pentagon Wars? Yes. And it's a shitty movie because Colonel, what the fuck is his name? had an axe to grind. He was a fucking loon in his own right. Oingo Boingo says, Jonathan, I marched to the 2012 inauguration for your president. It was miserable, and he went to lunch for 3 hours while we waited to start. Thank me for my service. You're welcome. Thank you for your cervix. Yeah. Yorick says, ICBM, Shawns. Where are the ICBMs? I don't know. Dagamore says, for 9 months, we might have road movable systems. We don't, though. We have submarines. Those are that's why Russia has road mobile systems. Because their submarine fleet sucks. And their land silos are garbage. That's why Russia has, and they can't control them. They control the nukes in central locations because Russia has command and control problems. That's why they have road mobile networks. We don't because we don't suck. Mission Failure says, I don't see many combat patches. Remember, the U.S. Army the military withdrew out of Afghanistan in 2014. Yeah, there is some combat in Syria, but the level of the operational tempo of the U.S. military is not the same as it used to be. So it's think about it. In the past 10 years, a lot of people have joined the military and the Army who haven't had a chance to fight. So that shouldn't be uncommon. Blue Light Sim says you should have a stream with habitual line crosser if you want your missile tizzle tickled. Yeah, I think he does like air defense artillery for the Army. Or it does some. I think that's what he does. But yes. Yeah, he's been on unsubscribed. He seems pretty interesting of what he's allowed to talk about. Rowan says the Bradley is cool and all until you have to load the chain gun. I have heard that it's not fun. So wait, why are we doing the War of the 1812 overture? We should be doing the 1812 overture. The Army didn't do so well in the War of 1812. And it's funny, we're playing a song while during that war, the fucking White House got burned. Like, that's not good. Oh no, chat. Oh no. Oh no. Like, come on. Like, that's the definition of irony, chat. The definition of irony. We're playing a song that was written in a year when the war that occurred, the White House got burned. Don't Google the Bladensburg races if you don't want your America feelings hurt. Nick Kreuzer says, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Thank you. Armand, for $10, says, in Canadian, says, days like this are really special. Even being stuck in China 2.0, this stream makes me feel at home. Well, you're welcome, man. Happy Flag Day, y'all, and thank you to all those who have served and are currently serving USA. Yes, well, thank you. Thank you, Armand. It's good to have you here. One day, brother, you shall become an American. You and Runkle, you're just an American in waiting. Soon. We need a meet up at the huge 250th birthday next summer. That would be fun.
Both of my grandfathers served in the
Maddie B says, Sean, congrats on setting the date with our queen.
and it is my goal in this uniform
Thank you.
to answer and meet the challenges of my time head on.
So, Roy says, Bailey says, God bless America. Yes. But Barbarian's wife. Barbarian's wife says, for $2 super sticker. Well, thank you. Royston as Bailey says the U.S. military is meritocratic, not racist. Yes, it's a meritocracy. Oh, yes, chat. There he is. General Douglas MacArthur, the man who almost nuked the fucking Chinese. Sadly, he wasn't given the shot. Yorick says, Pot Creme Watcher in Kirshatism stream when? Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Death Angel Shadow for $2.50. Cost of a beer at Sony's. Says happy 250th. Happy Flag Day, America. Yes. Patrick A says, did anybody come across a No Kings protester? Yes. 2.0 and I went out to lunch and we ran across a bunch of them. It's a bunch of fucking boomers. So, bunch of boomers screaming about Nazis and no kings. And I'm like, okay, we don't have a king. Linda Richards. Hi, Linda. It's good to see you. It says, hi, Sean, no credence. This sucks. I know. Very big letdown. EDW Raptor says, I'm starting to believe they're just running the Bradleys around the block and back into the parade. Believe it or not, that's what the Russians would do during the Cold War when they built the Badger bomber to fool U.S. intelligence. They had the same squadron of Badger bombers fly like 10 times around to inflate the numbers. But no, these guys are going down the same track. Like, it's a one-way thing. So, Tag says, at Rowan, thanks for serving. I medically retired in 2004. Well, thank you, Tag. I'm sure Rowan sees that. He'll appreciate that. KRM says, I bet they had to order all that paint 1 year from in advance just to have it on hand. Oh, I bet. I bet. Rowan Cowart says, I'm from yesterday. A lot of shit has changed in 10 years. Certainly has. Bob Johnson says, I like the Chilean parades because they have the Prussian military influence. Yes. The Prussian military advised and built the Chilean army prior to World War I. No, sort of saying, wasn't speed the initial idea for the Bradley? Yes, and it still is. The Bradley is still a very fast vehicle, but it's still in a separate role from an infantry carrier. It carries some infantry, but it is meant to give a supplemental firepower base to an Abrams platoon. It's a fighting vehicle that carries infantry. But it's not an infantry like they call it an infantry fighting vehicle, but its purpose is to be able to engage and skirmish with other advanced armor forces and be able to carry the fight as well. But yes, it is fast. It's very nimble for its size. Mega Mobas says GM got the contract, I guess, for the JLTV. It's based off of a Colorado pickup truck. Oh, that's interesting. The wheelbase and everything makes sense. Rowan Coward says, yes, speed is life, so let's give the troops 14-pound rifles that don't hold zero. The barrels flex, have a short barrel life, and accuracy issues. And also, don't forget the ammunition's really bad. So, but very true. Stephen Cooper says, when does Metal Gear show up? Not yet. Shelly says, the aircraft are flying right over my house right now. That's pretty cool. Das Boot says, what is the chin strap that goes underneath their nose? So when we're talking about the West Point cadets, what they're wearing is called a shako. Okay. A shako is a military cap that it's a traditional thing that goes back to the Napoleonic era. And it's just called a peaked cap. It's like it's that's what it's for here. And let me see if I can get a picture of the West Point cadets. The way they wear their shakos, that's just how it's worn as part of the uniform. Let me see if I can find a picture. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good picture. This is just how they wear it. And this is a good example. Like, that's how you wear your shako. And that's a modern way most units that have shakos and have to wear them as a traditional dress uniform and their parade uniforms, you wear it like this. You don't actually wear your chin strap underneath your head, underneath your chin. That's kind of how they do it. And that's kind of normal. So that's pretty standard. It's a pretty standard thing. People are calling this Trump's Fire Festival. Yeah, I kind of think so. Dagamore says VMI is an odd way of saying Norwich. Well, you're going to have to, a lot of people will fight you for that. A lot of VMI cadets will. KRM says the Citadel enters the chat. Well, I think, still, best school in the state of Virginia when you talk to those people. Did I do ROTC? Yes, I did my freshman year of college, and you're like, wow, you're really fat. Back then I wasn't. I made height and weight standards. A lot of fun. I learned a lot of things, and the cadre there were very good people. Colonel Bonnell, who ran it, Master Sergeant Strange. They were very good people. Gave a lot of good advice and were really good people to talk to. So, but yeah, I got a DUI and also was just a little, kind of wasn't my thing. So, yeah. KRM is saying, in my day, a task force was an operational element. Now task force can be recruiters. Yeah, well. Nusser is saying, why does this give me Scientology recruitment video vibes? It's not. And I guess I'm just saying this. I know you're not a U.S. citizen. But West Point is a very mystical place. It's got lore and tradition and everything in it. I mean, I tried to get into West Point when I was in high school. I hurt my knee and, had to retake the PT test and I couldn't do the shuttle run fast enough. And I was waiting on an appointment and I got waitlisted and I was like 14th. So kind of sucked. You couldn't get in. But no, West Point is a institution steeped in tradition. And it's, even if you go to a lot of countries, your military institutions, Sandhurst, the Fruins Military Academy in Russia, a lot of these places have a long and historical tradition. And it's hard to explain, but it's really a thing you buy into. And you also hear me talk about Virginia Military Institute, Norwich Academy up in New Hampshire, the Citadel down in South Carolina. A lot of that's pretty impressive. And Karam is right. 70% of those kids at West Point are libtards who are going to fucking tear everything down. Yes. When they get to staff level, they're going to start fucking everything up. Very true. Also, let's see what they're singing now. Oh, I don't even know what song they sing. What song were they singing just now? Oh my God. Okay, we're singing Toby Keith. That's cringe. I don't want to do that. That's so awful. Boguslawa saying for $10. My kid had been in American land since 1613. The Clays on the Treasurer, the Revolutionary War, Civil War, both sides, the Indian Wars, World War I, II, and even today. Why are there swarthings in the middle in the ranks of our weapons wielders? Yeah, I don't. Don't know what to tell you there. Hold on. What are we?
Where the powerless are yearning to breathe free. May we fight for justice till there's justice for all. And beyond what God.
They should be singing fucking Sabaton or something. Get real inspirational. Gregory says for $10. The GLTV says more of a Chevy ZR2 got raped by a Polaris side by side. If you know, you know. Worth looking at who's producing it and where it's sold. Well, thank you, Gregory. Cope and Sneed has been a member for 12 months or 10 months. Thank you for that support. Says, long live Emperor Trump. That's right, chat. Long live the Emperor of mankind. May his reign be 1,000 years. 10,000 years. We already addressed that one. Bella says, you missed our completed Super Tower chat last night. The R did not come in until afterward, so I couldn't see it. But I saw you guys go into Runkle's chat and put the R up. But yes, Bella, thank you for that. Iconoclast says, it's the Army. Don't they have some cannons? Yes. Funky Monkey for $10 says, fine. Here's $10 for anyone who got worked up over immigration and the U.S. code. Happy Flag Day. Amateur Iconoclast says, never mind. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I wanted to catch up on all that before we got too far. Stacy said, VMI looks like a prison. The funny thing is, if you talk to any VMI cadets, they'll tell you prisoners get treated better than they do. And they kind of joke about it, but also they kind of really do. You sleep on straw mattresses, and yeah. When you're a first year on the rat line, it really fucking sucks. Ask somebody who's been there. They will tell you all about it. Okay. So he said, I did not get selected. No, I did not get my nomination. So, yeah. And I got waitlisted for that, too. It sucked. Which, oh, well. Now my knee's all fixed up. I have no excuses. It's very true. Funny. So, I took an arrow to the knee. No, I sprained it really bad. So, the latest house, my oldest in our ROTC, is going to be in the reserves. Cool. Make the fire screen bigger. There. Fine. Yes. Colonel Stephen Bennell? No. No. My God, you're being an asshole. Colonel Destiny? No. No. Colonel Bennell was actually a very nice guy. Very knowledgeable. Initially was an infantryman and then switched over to flying helicopters. And he would go in when a helicopter got shot down or crash landed. His unit was in charge of putting it back together, fixing it in the field, and flying it back. And he said more than once flying, he's like, you fly some of those back and the bolts are falling out of it. He's like, you land and there's a bunch of bolts missing or pieces fell off along the way. So, yeah. So, Cyanide Cologne says Bradley was owning a bunch of Russian tanks at the hands of Ukrainians. Yes, but the bigger thing that Bradley has been able to demonstrate is its survivability. It's been able to protect the troops inside in the troop compartment at a significant amount of damage. But yes, most of the people who say no kings anyway don't believe in God, so they're godless heathens anyway. Let's see here. Funky Monkey says, that's the guy from Hearts of Iron 4. Douglas MacArthur. Holy shit. That's what kids are gonna say nowadays, too. That's a sad part. Oh my God. Is it really that dark in DC? Because it's still bright out here. I can hunt a deer. It's still light. Oh my God. And Toby Keith was very fucking liberal. I hate that they use him for the music. Yeah, Shakos are the elite versions of Caps. I need to do a Hearts of Iron stream. I need to, but I need to learn how to play Hearts of Iron 4. I used to play it as a kid, like the early versions, but I haven't played it in a long time. Kind of forgot everything. Funky Monkey says it's me. I'm Yamal. I spurked, and I'm sorry. Well, you didn't get banned. You can come back on your own. Yes, the Yamal we knew wouldn't give in. So, Stacy says you could go Jag. No, I couldn't. I'd have to lose a ton of weight. Number one, number two, I'm too old for that now. They have age limits for that stuff. So, Riot streams now. So, Jag was a great TV show. Oh my God, it was so cringe. Now being a lawyer, it's so cringe though. No, it's not anymore. Yeah, DC is East Coast, pretty dark. I understand, but it's still like it's beautiful here right now. I wish I could show you guys. Let me see here. What else do we have? So Bradley was owning Russian tanks. Yeah, Swedish parades are also very Russian. Well, Sweden, going back, they have traditions that a lot of those traditions bleed together. There is apparently in Detroit, a bunch of 1%ers showed up and started kicking asses at the No Kings parade. So, Rowan says, when is that Frenchman in the shotgun snob bracket have you on Twig? Well, it's interesting how they do it. So soon, maybe. It's kind of like you have to be there while they're getting ready to do it. Then they come talk to you or they're ready for you. So you kind of have to time it right. So you mean you can't be a JAG officer anymore? No. Yeah, the max direct. Oh, the max direct commission's 42. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to lose that kind of weight in that time. So. And I don't think I'd be able to get it. I mean, I don't have it. My GPA wasn't the best. It was a 3.1. You know, I don't have a fancy pedigree. Like, I don't know if I'd qualify even then. It's very, very competitive to get into the JAG Corps, as it should be if you're doing it. So, does RSBN sell pills now? Well, yeah, it's just like doing everything. Well, guys, we got caught up on everything here. Nice. Nice. Oh. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't know, guys. What is Don't know. What do you guys want to? Well, we're kind of wrapped up here, so. Bogasawa says, "Have you ever given the thought to trying out English?" Oh. Funny. They let Glanville in, yeah. Well, he's black. Let's not act like there aren't, metrics there. So. Yes, the shitter who deleted the lawmakers in Minnesota has been identified. I know. I'm just saying, like, which is funny because he's like, it's all weird. It's weird, and they're hunting him down now. So, oh, funny. Simon stream with Watcher. Well, guys, we're gonna work on some model stuff tonight. Would probably be the plan. You're saying it was the Iron Coffins? No, it was the Detroit Highwaymen, which is one I have not heard of in a long time. So they graded Glanville on the curve. Yeah, well, I'm not saying being black help, but being black does help. So being black. Le Mans is tonight, yeah. When do we get to redeem our governor? Not yet. What's in the water in Minnesota? I don't know. Oh. So. But anyways, guys, that's kind of it for us. We're gonna take a break here for a couple minutes, and we'll come back and probably do some models and do a little bit of writing in the background. So give me a couple minutes here, and we'll probably get on that. So looks like they're moving on the protesters in LA. Give me like 5 minutes, and we'll do that. All right. So we'll set it up on the modeling channel. All right. So I'm going to link that over to the other channel. And we'll do that here. English is Germanic rooted in English, no Norman. Yes. That's old way of doing it. And actually, chat, I got to go back. I got to pay the water bill again. Hold on. Been drinking a lot of water. Wash your hands. Is that water? Yeah, it's water. It's water. All right, guys. So I'm going to switch over to that stream here in a second, and I'll join you guys over there. It's always a fun time if you guys are new. You know, normally we cover legal stuff on this channel. Tonight, we did the law stuff, or the parade. And then we'll go over to the model channel and we'll do the model stuff. Because we don't like killing the algorithm. We don't have to. So, chat, I will see you guys over there. And, yeah, we'll be finishing up. We'll be working on the train a little bit. And I think from there, I'm not sure what we're going to do. But we'll do something. So, I will see you guys in a couple of minutes. So, where are we going? You guys are going to the model channel. And it'll redirect you guys over there. So, don't you worry about it. It's all set. Yep, it's all set, chat. So, I want to thank everybody out here tonight. And just until next time, chat, remember, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Although whoever set up the parade tonight, this was kind of bad. I mean, like, it was entertaining, but like, ugh, buddy. Was not the best. Was not the best parade. What time's the model stream? 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys over there. Take care, chat, and I will see you guys there. Good night, guys.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick hated yelled at?